Shalom Aleichem Rabotai, this is Rabbi Kovacs, and Mishnah Yomi is now beginning the second chapter in Shabbat. It's actually a tremendous zechus to start the second parak, Erev Rosh Chodesh Kislev, because Hanukkah is on the horizon. We'll be discussing lighting candles. So good, Mishnah Aleph, B'mei modlikin and b'ma ein modlikin, with what may we light, with what should we not light Shabbos candles. This chapter is very famous because we say this chapter in most shuls, have the minhag between Mincha and Maariv Erev Shabbos on Friday, because it's very appropriate, though hopefully your candles are already set up by that time. So Mishnah explains about wicks first. Ein madlikin lo belechesh. We don't use a lechesh, which is a woolly stuff between the bark and the trunk of a cedar. Lo behosin, uncombed flax. Lo becholoch, this is some kind of silk gunk. Lo b'ptilat idan, not with the wick of idan, which is under the bark of a willow tree. Lo b'ptilat midbar, not with the wicks they use in the desert, because those are just long leaves of grass. They don't light so well. Lo biroka shal b'nei hamayim, and not with the green stuff on the face of the water. So either this means with seaweed, or it means with algae that kind of grows on the side of the ship, or on the surface of anything that's kind of bobbing in and out of the water. Now these wicks don't work well because they literally don't work well, so we don't want people using them on Shabbos and then coming to tilt the oil lamp to draw more oil towards these not so gishmak wicks, which would be a havara, a malacha on Shabbos. The Mishnah continues about fuel. Lo bezefet, not with pitch, which is apparently some kind of sap. Lo bishava, not with wax. Now the wax we have today, which is processed into beautiful candles that work very well, is an upgrade from the wax they used to have. Lo b'shemen kik, and not with shemen of the kik. So this might mean cottonseed, or it might be this famous kikayon of Yonah. Remember, Yonah had this kikayon tree that protected him. Could be the same plant. Lo b'shemen sreifa, not with oil that needs to be burned. We're going to describe this later. This is oil that was truma that got tameya. So you can't use it as food, but you could still burn it. We don't use this in Shabbos. Lo b'olya, lo b'chelev. Not with the olya is the tail of a sheep, which was very fatty, or chelev is the forbidden fats of animals. Nahum Madi Omer, but Nahum says, Madlikin b'chelev mevushel. He says if the chelev was already melted down or already cooked up, so then it's going to flow better as a fuel, and it's not going to stop up your Shabbos nerot. They said, no, we're not going to use chelev and oleo. We're not going to use these animal fats. They don't flow very well. Great. Mishnah bet. Ein madlikin b'shemen soifa b'yom tov. We don't use this oil that must be burned on Yom Tov. So again, this is truma tameya. Now we're explaining what we mentioned in the last Mishnah, that we can't use truma tameya oil, even for a Kohen, of course. The Kohen's the one who has the truma on Yom Tov. So we extend that to every Shabbat because we're concerned, because we don't want people to burn this shemen sreifa on Yom Tov. It's not, you're not allowed to burn kodshim on Yom Tov. Rabbi Shmuel Omer, ein madlikin b'itron mipnei kodesh, but we don't use itron, which is some sort of tar kind of stuff. Brighter says pesolet shel zefet, so it's the residue of the pitch. Reich or Rabbi Yoter, it has a very bad smell. So even though it flows well, it doesn't smell good. So don't use it on Shabbos. You're gonna leave. You're not gonna hang out by your Shabbos candles. But the sages allow every oil, b'shemen shumshemin, like sesame oil. You can get that at Sesame Street. B'shemen egozim, nut oil. B'shemen snunut, radish oil. B'shemen dogim, fish oil. B'shemen pakuot oil. It's apparently from certain gourds. Be'itran uvneft. And even with this this pitch, the residue of pitch, and with neft, with naphtha. Rabbi Tarfon Omer, en madlikin leb'shemen zayit bilvad. Rabbi Tarfon says we only use olive oil, and that's it. So the halacha is not like Rabbi Tarfon. You could really use all these oils. Some people are noheg, they davka want to use olive oil, because everyone agrees that shemen zayit, that olive oil, is good and is one of the Shivas Haminim, so that's Gishmak. So if you want to make Rabbi Tarfon happy, you get some olive oil. But Baruch Hashem, we have wonderful candles and other options today. One thing the Farshim say is we try not to use Shemen Afarsimon, balsam, because balsam is very gishmak, expensive, nice oil. So somebody walking by might dip his finger. He's like, oh, that's balsam in there? Oh, he dip his finger in and get a little bit of that gishmak of balsam oil. So we try not to use balsam oil. And the neft, the naphtha, which burns in a very powerful way and could cause a fire hazard. So those things we don't want to use on Shabbos, even though technically we paskin like the sages, and all of the oils are good for your nerot. Tizku the mitzvot, chazag baruch.